Art Strickland has a very difficult job. By the way, Art of Golf, he sets up great trips to Augusta National, to the Open Championship, and other places around the country to go play golf. Good friend of ours, Art Strickland, joins us from Augusta National. Art, I got to tell you, I know that there are a lot of names that miss the cut, but this might be one of the most glorious leaderboards I've seen in a long, long time. They went low. A lot of people did, even though I've seen balls in the creek, etc. What kind of roars have there been today at Augusta National?
Well, Smokey, that's one of the great things about Augusta. You can hear the roars echoing through the pines. Some great ones. I mean, obviously, Jordan, Scottie hits it in the bushes on 12 behind the green. It magically kicks out of the bushes, and he chips it in for two when he could have made 5 on that hole. Throwing in shots, Justin Rose could be the second oldest player ever behind Jack Nicklaus when throwing in some great shots. There is no bad Masters. I can promise you that. But this sets up to be a glorious Masters weekend.
With Rory rallying, you've got Scottie Scheffler at the top. You've got DeChambeau. DeChambeau, who's playing well. The PGA, I know that not all these guys are PGA players when you talk about Bryson, but this is something, especially given all the turmoil off the course, it's got to be really good for him, Art.
Oh, I think so. And I think we may have discussed last year after the Open at Pinehurst, Bryson DeChambeau has single-handedly rehabilitated his image and really turned it 180 degrees. And if any athlete or any player wants to know how to, rehab their image, just study Bryson. I don't know if you caught him coming off 18 today. He's shaking every hand. He's high-fiving players. Just incredible what he's done. And, I think his quote the first time he saw Augusta National, he said, "This is a par 68 for me as far as I hit it." And he was proven wrong. And so he has come back with more respect, come back with a less aggressive, more, conservative game plan. And so great. Rory's left for dead yesterday. Double bogey on 15 and 17, comes back 66. He's in the mix. Now he's in the mix for more heartache. Well, that's very possible. But he's in the mix. Scottie's right there. Justin Rose not going away. Really, really good times there. We haven't even got to the number of egg salad sandwiches bad since I've been here.
Well, I bet you've had that. And Paul, how do I pronounce pimiento?
It's pimento.
Pimento salad.
It's a really...
Hey, Art, on Scheffler, by the way, if you and I are playing or anyone watching this show and you pull it left on 12, it gets stuck up in the leaves and the junk. And, of course, Scottie, it rolls right back down. Nice slide, then he chips it in. Pretty amazing. I have seen a lot of guys missing the green short, which happens based on the gust of wind and whatever else on 15 or 13. There's been a bunch of that. Is there a player that you would have lost your home and maybe vehicles that you guaranteed would make the cut that stunned you that did not? There may be 4 or 5, but anyone in particular?
Check out my go-to polo from Flag and Anthem. It's everything you want in a golf polo, but you can wear it at a dinner, to a barbecue, whatever your plans are. It's extremely soft, super comfortable. Check it out, flagandanthem.com.
Yeah, I really think Will Zalatoris is surprised me. Will plays really good on hard golf courses. Proved that at Pinehurst last year. Proved that at a lot of places. And I guess it's as hard as they come with the greens and with whatever. I really thought Will Zalatoris could play. Now, is his back still hurting him? Yeah, we won't know that. He didn't play in Houston, San Antonio. He did not play last year in the Nelson. Don't know if he'll play this year. So maybe his back's still bothering him, but surprised me that he hasn't done it. Looks like John Rahm is going to scrape by and make the cut, but certainly for a guy who is at the very top of the golf pyramid before he took the money from Live Golf and has really just disappeared off the face of the earth, the golfing earth. I think he's going to scrape by and make it. But that surprised me that John Rahm is really not a factor any longer.
John Rahm and Koepka. Koepka didn't make it either. And
8 on 18.
Yeah.
He what? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
He had an 8?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm getting the sense that a lot of these live guys are now, especially with this strife. Koepka in particular has kind of been vocal about it, that like it didn't really make them better golfers. It made them more money. It caused a lot of strife. And now with it looking like it's not going to go the way of them ever merging the way that they thought, are having some regrets about maybe their legacy in golf.
I think so. I think Rahm, if he was honest, he would tell you that. I mean, John Rahm really was he wins the U.S. Open at Torrey Pines and, is really at the top and, talks about his legacy. And then, I'm not going to sit here and say he shouldn't have taken $400 million or $600 million or wherever he got him. Who am I to say that? But, yeah, I just think that, really, Scottie Scheffler could have taken a ton of money. He did not. Tiger Woods turned down $1 billion, if you believe some of the reports. He hasn't, did that. So I think that's the case. But we're getting to see all the players together this week. And, Bryson, who, got money from Webb, obviously, but has really rehabilitated himself and is really one of the most popular guys there. And if you want to see the most complaining today, probably he wasn't included in the featured group that Augusta National puts out every day. So, good for Bryson rehabilitating his image, but great for us watching the Masters. Weather's been perfect. Tuesday, I had some guys down from Philadelphia with the Art of Golf Travel, and last time they were here, they said they bought tickets for $5 at the front gate. Had guys from Philadelphia. Weather's perfect Tuesday. Weather's perfect Wednesday, Thursday, and another glorious day of weather at Augusta. So, can't ask for more than that.
So, of the players at the top of the leaderboard, I'm going to go down with Rose has won a major. Obviously, DeChambeau, McIlroy, who's never won Augusta. We know that story. So his collapse at the end of the round yesterday to bounce back the way he did says mentally that he's in a good place. Scheffler, Lowry won the Open Championship. Jason Day's won a major. So you've got a lot of guys. Oberg didn't have the best round, but he's there. And, of course, a lot of people feel like he's next in line. Matsuyama, nice round. Reed, Schauffele. There's a bunch of guys, Art, that are a part of the top 15 or so right now that have majors as they enter the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Augusta traditionally draws the highest golf rankings of the year, regardless who's on the leaderboard. But I would suspect that CBS is probably high-fiving each other right now. Because if this keeps up for the weekend, and it appears it will, I think you're going to have monster ratings for both Saturday and Sunday. And, we'll see what happens. I picked Scottie Scheffler before the week started, and I bet a guy down at River Hill in Kerrville that Scottie would finish ahead of Rory every day this week. And I'm getting ready to be 2 for 2 on that. So I'm hanging in with Scottie right now.
All right. DeChambeau spends enormous amount of time. And I watch the Golf Channel. I have it on kind of like as background video while I'm working in the evening. He spends an inordinate amount of time, and he's not doing that for show. He is the ultimate tinkerer, right? Trying to find the right driver head and the perfect, flawless type of way he can hit his irons, correct?
That's correct. And he's the mad scientist. He really is.
Yeah.
And that's what makes golf interesting, Smokey, is that it doesn't work for other people. Some people, Freddie Couples, Seve Ballesteros would have been driven crazy by doing that. They were the ultimate field guys. Lee Trevino, same way. But that works for Bryson DeChambeau. He's a tinkerer. He's always looking, what can I do to make my game better? And he wants to know what I can do. And that works for him, obviously, and it's going to keep working for him. And would not surprise me at all, really, to see him in a green jacket on Sunday afternoon. Won the Open and won the Open at Winged Foot, won the Open at Pinehurst. Two very, very difficult golf courses. So to win the Masters at Augusta National, another extremely difficult golf course, that would fit right into his scenario.
Art, a couple more questions. One, how many egg salad sandwiches or any of those $1.50 or $3, whatever they charge this year, how many of those sandwiches have you had today alone?
Well, let me tell you what I had for lunch, Smokey. I had a sandwich, I had a Coca-Cola, I had a bag of chips, I had a peach ice cream sandwich, and I had a Masters moon pie. And you know what else I had after that? I had change from my $10 bill.
Isn't that nuts? That's nuts.
That's just what they do here, and it's incredible. And I don't know. They may be listening to this interview, and I may get cut off, but I'm not a big fan of pimento cheese.
No, okay.
I'm really not.
Listen.
I love egg salad.
Yep.
And I had one for breakfast the other day just because I could.
Yeah.
I actually love them both. And if they did some sort of combo, I would even try that.
No, you would
not.
not.
Yeah, I would.
Egg and pimento.
Listen, if you don't say pimento right, I'm going to slap the crap out of you.
All right. Nico Maliava.
Golly. No. Hey, Art, Justin Rose has one major win. He's got one U.S. Open. He's had two second places at the Masters. He's very well liked as a golfer, and he's probably the best golfer there is out there without a bunch of majors. He's always plays well. He's got a lot of wins across tours and all that. Yeah, it would be amazing if he could hold on here, but it is, the amount of people nipping at his heels is really, really crazy, but he would be a great story too.
Oh yeah. You've got on smarter bettors than me, obviously, but I would have loved to see the odds of him before the tournament started on Thursday. I would imagine you could have gotten some great odds on Justin Rhodes winning the Masters. Very unexpected, but he's a world-class player. He won at Marion. Speaking of tough courses, Marion, Philadelphia is one of the toughest there is.
Mm-hmm.
He won there with a 1 over par winning score. So he's expert at tough courses, 44 years old, played in 17 Masters, and this major, more than any other major, rewards experience. And that's why I wouldn't pick Ludwig. As good as he is, and the sound he is, this major rewards experience. And that's what Justin Rose, and that's what Rory, that's what Scottie all have going for him for the weekend.
Yeah, Mickelson, by the way, looks like he's got a finish, but he started, of course, outside what would have been the cut line or is the cut line. He's got it down to 1 over as he goes to 15. Has it been kind of wind gust? Has it been one of those dicey? Because a lot of guys are going low, Art, but yeah, you're still, because it's Augusta National, going to get on the wrong side of the slopes, et cetera. Is it been, you mentioned the weather, but how about the wind gust and what's expected for the weekend?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, the wind has picked up this afternoon. The guys that went out this morning, Rory obviously played early this morning. It was a lot calmer conditions than it is right now. If you're watching on TV, you can see the flags are really blowing. Langer, who barely missed the cut by one shot at age 67, you could see the wind was really blowing his shirt coming up 18. So for the weekend, supposed to be still nice, no rain in forecast, and the winds are not going to be. I think this probably will be the hardest it blows all weekend. But as they say, things could change on the weather front.
Yeah, you can go, by the way, a couple of things. Art on Twitter, at Art Stricklin, Stricklin. That's also his website, The Art of Golf Travel. And he does a great job of putting together the trips, as you mentioned, with people at Augusta, not to play it, but to be there and other great courses. What's your next big trip, Art?
Well, we've sold out trips both to Scotland and Ireland. Going to Scotland next month, playing Muirfield and Dornoch, some of the greats, Old Course, and then we're going to Ireland and playing Portrush 3 weeks before the Open. But those are all sold out. So we've got some great trips to the Ryder Cup in September. Ryder Cup's going to be at Bethpage Black, and all these great players, Justin and Scottie and Bryson, they're all going to be there. So going to the Ryder Cup, we're going to stay and play golf one day, and then we're going to Sand Valley in Wisconsin. And great track there in September. So all the details are on theartofgolftravel.com, and love to have you guys join us.
Thank you, Art. Appreciate it as always, Art. Strickland during the majors joins us.